Welcome in, ladies. Welcome to Elevate Her Space. I am so happy to have you here. This week, we're going to be talking about divine feminine. This topic is so juicy, and I can't wait to share with you what my perspective is on divine feminine and what it means to me right now. I pray that this message resonates with you, and I pray that you can take away something from what we talk about today and hopefully be able to influence 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to hundreds of women around you. With the divine feminine, what we have to do is understand what it is and be able to tap into it and also be able to hold on to it. Those 3 different steps really take doing a lot of inner work, a lot of inner healing in order to completely embody what it means to be a feminine woman. And being in such a masculine world and being behind such a masculine agenda, a lot of the times, most of us women have been trained out of what it means to be a woman and what it means to be in her feminine. The word feminine, the word submissive, the word soft can be very triggering for a lot of women, especially if the only examples of feminine came from women who might have been taken advantage of in the past. I can see how these words can just feel like such an uncontrollable feeling. I used to feel this way. I am a woman who was raised by a single mother who has always felt like she had to do it alone and who was never comfortable with somebody completely doing something for me without me feeling like I had to give something back. I know all that it is to know when it comes to being a hyper masculine, hyper independent. And what I've learned from that chapter in my life is that I had a lot of lessons, and I'm so happy for that chapter in my life, but it no longer suits me. It no longer suits me to be a super masculine woman in this masculine world. What this world needs is feminine energy. It needs the ultimate embodiment of feminine energy. That doesn't mean somebody taking control of you. Feminine energy does not mean we have no control of our lives. What feminine actually means is that we have full control of our lives. And I've heard this saying and I resonate with it so much, and I'm learning more and more how true this is that the most feminine woman gets what she wants out of life. When I talk about the feminine and I talk about the masculine, what I want to set the ground rules for this conversation as we go forward is that when we talk about the masculine is not first and foremost a man. It's not a physical man. The first thing that I want you to remember and always think about is that the most masculine, healthy, embodied being, essence, energy that we know to be is God. Everything in reference to the masculine energy, my basis, my inner knowing is that God is the most healthiest masculine energy a woman can encounter. Everything that comes after that either embodies God, and if it doesn't, then it's not God, and it's not masculine, and it's not healthy. So we have to remember that when we are looking for versions of healthy masculine energy, when we try to sit here and think about it, if we don't have great representations of it, maybe it's because we didn't have a dad growing up, right? With growing up in a household with a single mother, I've never always had a healthy masculine energy, a masculine essence to reference to when it came to being able to point one out, right? What I've learned today is that I don't have to look outwards in so many areas to find out what a healthy masculine energy is like. It is within us. It's God. God is the most healthiest masculine energy that we can always point reference to. And in life, when we believe that God is the healthiest masculine energy that we have in our life, we can always use that as a reference and know that we have that, and then be able to tap into our feminine at any given time that we should and that we need to. Now that we have that out the way, that the best version of the masculine energy is God, we can now proceed with this conversation, right? So when it comes to our feminine, we have to understand that we have been subconsciously and consciously in many ways trained in such a masculine agenda. And what we are missing is the value that our feminine energy holds. And today I want us to tap into that. I want us to start pouring back into ourselves in the most feminine way possible, in the most feminine way that we can. Sometimes when it comes to battling between masculine and feminine, we are so quick to destroy ourselves, to believe that our feminine is less than, and maybe it's not worth as much. But truth is that we have been brainwashed. Like I said, we have been brainwashed to believe that our feminine energy holds no value. Through our music, through society, through dating, through all these other things, we've been navigating this lifetime as if our feminine energy does not hold any weight. And I am no longer accepting that for myself. And I no longer want you to accept that for yourself. Being feminine is not weak. It is not a sign of weakness. The most powerful thing you can be as a woman is feminine. I was having a conversation with my mom the other day, and what I was telling her is that the best thing you can do when people are giving you things, when you are in full receiving mode, is to be able to wholeheartedly, open-heartedly receive. Receive what the masculine has for you. Thank God for it, embrace it, and enjoy the moment. And learn how to truly be happy with the fruits of what that masculine has provided you. Right? This can be in any relationship. It can be in friendship, it can be in marriage, it can be in the relationship that you have with God. And this topic that I was having with my mom, it was the relationship that I have with her, right? The best thing a mother can do for a child when the child is in the place of giving back to their parents is for the parents to be able to receive and wholeheartedly be grateful and enjoy the fruits of their labor, right? So we truly can understand where our feminine lies when we are in receiving mode, right? And the first obstacle there is to even allow yourself to be in receiving mode, right? Because I have been at a point in my life where I was not able to receive. That receiving felt really, really hard. And every time I received, I felt like I had to give back, right? And when it comes to the masculine and when they give, they don't receive the same way they give. They don't want to receive the same way they give, right? When you do something for somebody, if you are wholeheartedly, genuinely giving it to somebody, you don't expect it right back, right? And in a way, how I was explaining it to my mom is that in a way, you kind of rip away from the masculine and what they're trying to do and how they're like feeling their most embodied masculine selves. You rip that away from them when you try to give back in the same way that they're giving to you. When you truly embody the feminine, you will have to be able to receive. It's what feminine means. Because when you show up in the most feminine essence you can, in the most feminine essence that you've allowed yourself to show up, the masculine will naturally want to give, right? They will surrender. This is what they want from a woman, right? What we hold and what a masculine holds are two completely different things. And we have to learn how to wholeheartedly embody that. We've been stripped away from it. That's true. We've already talked about it. We don't have to keep giving excuses as to why we can't embody it anymore. Okay, there's past versions of masculine essence that has hurt us, right? That has caused trauma. We know that. But we are not going to reference that, right? We are only talking in terms of healthy masculine and healthy feminine. In order to embody the healthy feminine, we have to allow the healthy masculine to show up. We have to leave room for that. In order to leave room for that, we have to start first and foremost embodying what it means to be a woman and learning that we have our own attributes. We have beautiful, nourishing attributes that we need to continuously become comfortable with expressing. I was not always okay with this. I am still learning this myself. In relationship right now, I am learning how to be a full woman and being able to accept that a healthy masculine wants to do for me and that I deserve that. Because I do. I deserve to be a feminine woman who is able to receive from a healthy masculine man. Because that is what that healthy masculine deserves as well. That healthy masculine deserves to be a man and be able to express it without being ridiculed for it. My job in this planet is not to tear down the masculine. It's not to revert the masculine to do something else to be feminine. I don't want to do that. I want to embody the most feminine embodiment that I can so that I can attract nothing but healthy masculine energy. And that is the way I can encourage the healthy masculine to show up. Is the more I'm able to tap into my feminine, feel safe in my feminine, and just love on myself. And you deserve to do that too. The way we can test where we are in our femininity is when we are in the mode of receiving, right? Once we are in the mode of receiving, someone is giving something to us. The way we can understand whether or not we are in our full feminine embodiment is how we receive. Do we feel like we have to give back in a way that is just as much as the masculine is? If we are in that energy, then we are not embodying femininity. Sometimes the way we show up when we are dealing with something very adverse, like maybe an argument we're having with someone, or we're dealing with an uncomfortable situation, the way we react and the way we respond is a real marker as to who we are as women. The other day, I had a disagreement with a loved one, and I almost allowed myself to be masculine and toxic. I almost allowed myself to doom scroll. I almost allowed myself to just cave in and stay in a ball under the sheets in my bed and just be depressed and tear myself down for what has happened. I told myself that I know I am the daughter of God, right? And I know that what God wants for me, if I'm a daughter of God, the way God wants me to treat myself is not in that hyper masculine, toxic way. The way I need to treat myself is treat myself like I'm the most beautiful flower, the most beautiful plant, the most beautiful daughter he can have. So what I did was I moved my body because I did not want to be stuck in that energy. We all know if we don't move our energy, it could potentially cause something greater. And we don't want to go in that direction, right? We've seen representations of this in the past, right? We've seen previous women in our lives stay stuck in an energy that is not suiting for them. And unfortunately, it's gotten so bad that it's even caused diseases, right? That's what disease is called, dis-ease. We've allowed ourselves not to be easy on ourselves. So that is not what I wanted to do. I chose not to do that. I chose to trust into the masculine energy of God and perform in the most feminine way possible to give back. So I gave back to myself. I moved my body. I got some sunlight. I fed myself something very, very nutritious. And I stayed in that energy. I stayed in the energy of understanding that although there is something uncomfortable happening, although there is something that that may not feel very good right now happening, I don't deserve to treat myself worse. I don't deserve to put the finger on myself and bash myself for it. I deserve to stay true to myself. I deserve to be respectful to myself and be a feminine woman. That is the greatest gift you can do to yourself, is give yourself grace and be a woman. The worst thing you can do is add more responsibility to yourself. Feel like you have to do it all by yourself. Another thing that I hate that I used to do and I no longer do it is feel like I need a drink. Oh, I'm gonna go have a drink. I'm going through something. I'm gonna go have a drink. That is the worst thing you can do. You are ruining your body just because you feel like that is the best thing you can do. Is that really the best thing you can do? Is that the only tools in your toolbox? I have that question for you. I don't want to continuously use these versions of masculine toxicity to dictate how we treat ourselves. We don't have to drink in order to get through something. We don't have to go chase the next male attention. We don't have to go chase anything. We don't have to chase the wrong masculine energy, or we don't have to go chase the wrong masculine attention. We don't have to do that to ourselves. The best thing we can do is pour into our value. And what that means is doing something that will put you at the next level, that will make yourself proud of you. Pick up a book, learn something new, go on a walk, move your body, and pour into your physique. Do something that is going to really nourish you at that moment. And when we're talking about relationships, and when we're at a point where maybe there's something that is going on with a loved one, and we feel like we have to express such a masculine energy because that's all we know how to do, I encourage you to leave it to God. And they always say this, and I hated it. I hated hearing this, right? Because when you're in the midst of being so angry about something, when you feel like you're being disrespected, when you feel like you're being devalued, when you feel like you're being unappreciative, the one thing I feel like we've been trained to do is just to have this outbreak of energy, right? And we feel like we have to curse at someone. We feel like we have to degrade their character. We feel like we have to get on their level as to how they treated you or do something back. And what I want to remind you today is that is another leak of energy. You feel like you're being disrespected. You feel like you've leaked your energy by being disrespected. And when I tell you, when you decide that you want to disrespect them back, you are leaking even more energy. Your value becomes less, even more than what you felt like before when you go in that direction. If you truly, truly want to embody what it means to be a high value woman and that no one should be able to treat you a certain way, the best thing you can do is treat yourself this way. And I've told you ladies this a million times, but this resonates with this topic so much. When you are able to embody that high value woman, the energies around you will have to go in that direction. And if they don't, then they will just trickle down. They will trickle out of your lives. And that is the best thing that can happen for you. That is the best case scenario. When you are looking for the masculine to show up in your life in a certain way, all you have to do is pray to the one masculine energy that we can stay true to, that we know has no ill intent. We can pray to God, ask for that masculine, healthy energy to show up, and embody a woman who is able to receive it. It is that simple. It is that simple in life. This is the truth about everything in life. In any area in our life, let's pray to the divine masculine. Ask the divine masculine to show up in the most physical, healthy form that he can provide to us, and embody the most healthy feminine essence that is able to receive of that. And that's it. That is all I'm going to leave with you guys today. I pray that this message resonates. I pray that you're able to embody the most feminine essence that you feel safe and beautiful in, and that you're able to influence this on the woman around you. I love you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week.